Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show. Today, I am back from vacation, and it was fun to get away. Did not go like we were hoping it would go, like per se, because my wife's brother passed away while we were on the trip, and it was moments of distraction and fun mixed with grief and heartbreak, especially for her. And so it was kind of like, it was one of those yay-aw trips, you know, because this is one we've been thinking about for years, like 4 years going on this trip. And then we finally got to go. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, this, not thinking about the trip anymore, you know, kind of thing.
And how old was he?
He was 59. So it was just like, yeah, he was 4 years older than me. And it was like a sudden aneurysm kind of thing. And truth be told, like, he had one of these 10 years ago, and he should have died then. Like, they told him he should have died. And he came back. He bounced back. He actually, you know, was 95%, you know, back to health and everything. He had a little bit of a balance problem, but really, I mean, his mind still worked and everything. He got to watch his kids have 10 more years with them. Like, so, I mean, great. But then you're sad at the loss, you know. But he didn't suffer, which was good because he had another aneurysm and stuff like that. So anyway, that was what was going on for us. But I was watching some of the stuff going on the show from posts that Betty was posting and things about the Aftercast. So you guys did an Aftercast with Zach, I heard. How did that go?
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was. I had played a Here's How Betty Hears the Show, so it had a bunch of
Zach?
Of Zach.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
And everybody just wanted to hear his laugh again. And it was just good to reminisce. And he gave some great dad advice to Gavin. And,
oh, good. Oh, that's timely.
Good dad advice.
Yeah.
And then the next day we did one for Becca.
Yeah. Okay.
So we had her
that.
in and caught up with her.
Nice.
So it gave the potties just something to enjoy, you know, while you were gone, because they feel so lost when you are gone.
Thank you. You're getting good at this, because before, like years ago, you would have been like, because they forgot about you. They hate you. Zach was so great. So thank you in my old age for throwing me that bone. They got to get something because they missed you so much.
Potty, we know the truth.
I know. I think my favorite thing that I saw, though, while I was gone, and I'm not sure why you needed this or did this, and then I remembered why. But you were reading a book about narcissists and how to deal with them. And then I was like,
that's on my personal page.
Yeah, that's on your personal page. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you like for your dad, I'm assuming. No, really? No? Oh, weird. I couldn't for the life of me figure out who in your life you would need a book about dealing with narcissists.
It's so funny because you think everything is about you.
Oh, so it's not about, that would be narcissistic.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I could see where.
Well, you call me a narcissist all the time.
No, you call yourself a narcissist. You called yourself a narcissist.
I have called myself a narcissist.
So I'm just agreeing with you.
Yeah, but we generally agree.
I was actually reading it for someone else
Were you really?
in my life.
Okay,
yeah.
A few things. One, I think I'm a modified narcissist. I think I have narcissistic tendencies that I have to watch out for. It's kind of like I have addictive tendencies as well I have to watch out for. But I have moments where I'm completely generous and completely caring of other people.
You are completely opposite when you are away from work. Like when you are away from work, you are a team player.
Yeah.
You're looking for ways to help. Even before y'all left on your trip, Marty sent me a picture of you trying to help a complete stranger put their luggage in the overbin.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that person didn't even ask for the help, but you're like a puppy dog.
They weren't even on that flight. I just brought them in with me. I'm like, hey, you want me to put this up there for you?
And they're like, sir, that's not even where I want. Okay.
I'm going to Phoenix. Why? Okay, just don't worry about it. Let me help you.
Yeah. So and you just seem more happy and carefree.
Yeah.
But when it comes to work, you're definitely more narcissistic.
Yeah.
You're more my way or no way.
For sure.
And not 100% versus zero. It's not know, one way or the other. They do blend. But
yeah, I have moments of just pure straight up narcissism.
That's why I think we did say you're an 8 on the Enneagram, but I think you're a 2. But you're just 2s turn into unhealthy 8s when they go unhealthy.
You think not an 8 wing 2? You think he's a straight up?
No,
yeah,
a wing has to be the number right beside it.
Yeah, so I'd be a 9 or a 7.
Whatever your Enneagram number is, there's a healthy version and an unhealthy version. And with a 2, An unhealthy 2 goes to an 8, and that's why I think he's a 2.
Because it's weird. Because if I was
2 is all about helping, and he is always looking for ways to help.
I do try to help. Yeah. If I was a 2,
you don't even want the help.
It's like, interesting because if I was a 2, my wing 1 would be perfectionism, which that I definitely have, and then or my wing could be a 3,
which is the performer, which could also be you,
which is very much like based on works. And needing approval and things like that. So I there might be something to that because when especially like on my trip that I was just on, like I'm on a group, I'm helping people, I'm going and finding people. This lady, I was waiting on a car and they would have walked in, but I walked out and made sure that it was her car and took her stuff out for her and stuff, So I'm exhausting as a traveling.
You really are.
Would you be willing to give up? Because I think you do find pride in being an 8.
Yes.
Whenever it pops up that we're talking about Enneagrams, you and Pastor Chad here kind of resoundingly, I'm an 8. Woo.
Yeah. 8s are awesome.
8 dogs. Woo, woo,
yeah,
woo.
for sure.
But I think that Pastor Chad is an actual 8.
Yeah.
Because
he's a jerk.
He doesn't no. But the way he is here at work is the same way he is out.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And that's not the same for you.
I think for me, honestly, like the work persona, that's why like a lot of personality tests, I think when I take them, it's very situational. Usually when you're taking a personality test, you think of one instance that's about that question. Yeah. You know, and like in work, it's very different from personal life. And I do think that a lot of like my narcissistic tendencies come from insecurity.
So
100%.
If you don't know at all what he's talking about with this whole narcissistic book, I'm reading one called Unmasking Narcissism.
Will you tell me off the air who you got it for?
Yes, I'll tell you off the air.
Because I for sure thought it was me.
Yeah, I did
I
too.
1,000,000%.
No,
I'm like, she's like, I'm going to grow.
I even had some people that messaged me saying like, oh, you're preparing for Wally to come back. And I guess in some ways it could be helpful. For
what did you learn?
So what I've been doing is posting things that really hit for me.
Okay.
One of them is ultimately narcissism isn't really about loving yourself too much. It's about not having much of an authentic self to love at all.
Sure.
Selfishness, arrogance, and entitlement act as armor, protecting the vulnerable and fragile person inside.
Yeah,
we've talked about that with
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I keep people at arm's length, and I use humor to mask the other stuff.
Right,
here.
because ultimately this book is saying that narcissism comes from that person having fear. They're not secure in themselves, so they put out this very secure persona to try and mask
overly secure.
The insecurity. Another one I posted was, while narcissist envy may appear to be more about money, looks, charm, or popularity on the surface, a deeper look reveals that they are envious of others because they don't have to wear a mask. They want to know what it's like to have a real self. They envy those who can find acceptance for who they really are.
Yeah, that's where I don't know that I would do that. That one wouldn't per se be me, so that's where you go. Maybe I'm a 2, broken 8, because I don't really vibe with that. I don't think.
Yet, when you saw those things, you just assumed.
Oh yeah, because there's I definitely have narcissistic, self-consumed tendencies for sure.
We talk about it here at work.
Yeah, I mean it's like
amount.
and I'm honest about it, and the insecurity is a big part of that. One of the biggest things for like when you take these tests, it's like, are you rooting for people's success? And the problem with this is outside of my group, like I'm always rooting for you two, always. Like I'm always on your side. I'm always going to be your best champion. But beyond that, no, I'm not rooting for other people. Like other shows in the company or things like that.
Which is not what our bosses want to hear.
Oh no, I know exactly. But at least I'm honest. Like know what you get with me.
At least I'm honest.
Is you saying though, like you say, not rooting for?
Right.
Is it insert? I know again, circumstantial.
Sure.
Is it rooting against or just purely the energy is not being put forth to root for?
Like I can be an encourager to other people and like give them. I've been with other people and given them bits and hey, why don't you try this? You could do this. I can do all of that. But when I see like something that feels like out of balance with 8s or with narcissists, it's hard to root for somebody when it comes at what you think is the expense of what you should get, and it's not very altruistic, And so if somebody starts to elevate and you're like, do they deserve that? I don't know. Why are we focusing on that? That's when you get super arrogant. That's when you get threatened and the fear comes in, and then you don't root for them. Like I would never try to hurt somebody like in their career anymore. I used to when I was in mainstream radio for sure. I had some radio wars where I wanted to get people fired, but I'm not like that. Like that part of me is dead. But like it's not like, oh, I want to see people succeed because I want to be the one succeeding.
Well, yeah, your version of that I feel like comes out more along the lines of not saying I want this, I want to hurt this other competitor or competition. I just want to be better.
Exactly. I just always want to be better.
Kind of be told that I'm better.
Absolutely. That you
better.
Notice that it's better.
Yes.
You notice the difference. You notice the hard work. Because I've spent my whole life working. And I've spent my whole life trying to work harder than everybody else in my whatever that job was. Whether it was working at a surf shop or cleaning air ducts or doing this, I always wanted to be the best at it, and I wanted to be recognized that you put in the work. Like you don't even have to be the best, but somebody to say, I see how much you put in is value to me.
What does working harder than everyone mean to you? Like what? Why is that as important to you as it is?
Because it was ingrained in me from my dad that anyway, like if you want to get anywhere in life, you have to work hard. My mentor in radio was like, I might not be the best radio show, but I'm going to work harder than everybody else. So for me, working harder is doing the extra step. It's making the bed for that one bit that you're never going to do again. It's going through and making that last little edit that cuts out the, and doing the little things, all the things I've ingrained in you. Because you were new in this. And so it's like all those little things, doing that work. When you're tired and you don't feel like writing 3 more questions for an interview, but you need just a little bit more, putting that work in, versus, people like, so tell me about your book, like that's the kind of stuff that drives me crazy when I hear people not prepared and not doing the work. And so that's where that comes from for me, for sure. But like, what did you? How far did you get through the book?
Oh yeah,
I finished it.
Oh, you did? That's crazy.
I really like books that are about psychology.
Well, you have a degree in that now too, so
yeah. But I just like to be able to read people,
sure.
and I have my dad. My dad says that it runs on his side of the family, but we can register what someone's really thinking or. Like what they really are.
What their intentions really are.
Yeah. And so maybe that's true. I don't know. But I do feel like learning more and more about psychology, I can see further into what people are trying to sell you and what the truth actually is. That's
a big thing for me, like discerning if someone's being genuine, authentic. That's a big thing. And I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. So if you can get good at that and you can realize, okay, this person's just blowing smoke because they're trying to get something.
But I think what's bad is I feel like I can detect that in someone's attitude, especially about this person that I'm reading the book for. I can detect it. And the problem is trying to look past that and see the hurt person.
Sure.
Instead of just this narcissistic person that just thinks that everything should revolve around them.
Right.
That drives me crazy.
Well, I do really appreciate you saying this wasn't about me. You have no idea.
It actually wasn't.
You have no idea like how much because all my way back from
oh my gosh.
I had seen your post I think somewhere before I got on a 7-hour flight.
Wow.
And then they didn't have internet on this flight for some reason, and so I still see the picture of the book.
That's your insecurity.
I know.
You're gonna have to start post those pictures
not
of the
about
book.
Wally.
Not about Wally.
No.
Hashtag not
That's
about
ridiculous.
Wally.
Yeah.
No.
You shouldn't have to.
But the thing about it is though, like for me though, I always too my first thought on that was I see you reading this book. I go, oh, she's probably reading that to better learn how to deal with me. But my first thought was, oh, that's a good break that we can talk about, like for the show, like for me, because that's where everything goes to for me. It's like it's content. Like how can we spin stuff into conversations and stuff? So I was like, oh, good. I can't wait to get back. And now it's even better because I'm not the worst thing in your life. This is great. I'm not the biggest headache you have. Yeah, I said not the biggest.
Oh, okay.
I'm still a headache.
I do appreciate the I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, like of your interest though, Betty, that you spend your day reading like a book like that, but then at the same
And then
time
coloring.
or watching a crime murder show.
Yeah.
So it's like you definitely
You
your
you
interests
never know
are-
what you're going to get.
You
Yeah.
need an Unmasking the Narcissist in Your Life coloring book. That's what you need.
That's the next book in that series.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so good. So yeah, it was nice to come back, and everyone that I know and care about is still employed.
Yeah.
Sometimes you come back and like somebody
You do
left or got
sometimes.
fired. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, we also talked about maybe later this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, trying to do a celebrity slideshow.
Oh yeah. I had some
So-
Those
fun
are fun.
stories.
Those are
Yeah, because I'd like to hear like the best part and the worst part.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure the worst part was your brother-in-law.
Yes, 100%.
But if we took your brother-in-law out of it,
yeah,
then
yeah,
what
yeah.
would be the worst part of it? And now I did see where your can of hairspray, it was you used it
Did you
all.
run out?
I did.
I mean, but the ungodly amount you used
Yeah.
in one day
Yeah.
was
Spreading the ozone layer.
unnecessary.
Oh yeah. Like it's crazy. And my
No wonder that Marty wants you to do that in the shower.
I know, that's what I'm
I
saying.
don't blame her.
Yeah.
I'd be like
Outside.
coughing my lungs out.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
know
it's
what
a
the
lot.
time, like when, how long is going?
At least 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, and it depends too on
Not
like
that bad.
if I
Oh, it is.
if
you
I-
think about it.
Go ahead. And then yeah, it's
I
a
missed
lot.
it.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and then a little bit in the back. Yeah, because this
And it
has
goes straight
stick
to
up.
skin.
Yeah, sadly.
I remember one time, it was like super early on in the show here when I was here.
Yeah.
And you were like, I just wonder if Lysol spray would work up here. And you use like Lysol.
Oh, did I spray my
On
hand?
your-
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, I don't even remember that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Not at all. Checks out.
Like
yeah.
getting a bath.
So yeah, so I made it only 9 days till that can ran out. So on my 8th day, I was like, I'm like, oh no, I had a backup, and I had a
Backup
big
here.
can too.
Oh my gosh.
I had another little tiny one, travel one,
You
but then I
need
had
help.
a big one in case like
You need more luggage
got
than your
lost.
own wife does.
I did have more like my wife had told me. I said, she's like, how many pairs of shoes you bring? I said 3. I'm gonna wear 1, bring 2, and because I wanted 1 pair of shoes to wear on the plane mainly because they're easy to get on and off if you're on a long flight. And then I wore them like one day, and then I found out I didn't wear them the rest of the day, the rest of the trip, and so that was a waste. And my wife, I started the sentence with, "You're right," and she's like, "Okay, you have my attention." But like, I did realize some things too about like traveling is I could travel with a lot less. Like shoes, definitely 1 pair you wear, bring 1, and that's it. Unless you have like nice places you have to go, but we weren't doing any of that. The craziest thing though, my wife's a weather like crazy woman, and she watches the weather. She tells me every day what the weather's going to be, and so I can plan for it and everything. And so we go on this trip. She's like, okay, so it shows every day is going to be in the low 60s, and so that'll
Nice.
probably be cool,
Yeah.
So I have all of these like long sleeve hoodies, like
Yeah.
flannel
You
hoodies,
had layers.
sweatshirts, things like that. I'm layered.
Helpful.
I'm in great shape. We get there, 75,
Yeah.
78,
What?
hot.
Beyond sweater.
I-
Like, we're not wearing sweaters then.
Yeah, I ended up, I wore, of all the shirts I brought for 9 days, I wore 2 of those shirts.
Oh, geez.
Everything else I bought. I had to buy T-shirts. I went to Zara and bought like shirts with like collars, kind of like this like shirt I'm wearing now, like that 50s
What
throwback
did she
shirt.
do?
She did the same thing. She bought shirts because she had sweaters.
happened?
The
Was
weather changed. Like we were leaving, and she had looked at it, and we packed the day, like 2 days before, the day before, and we get there, and she's like, "I don't know what happened.
Oh, my
Like
gosh.
El Nino hit him or something, and it was so hot."
Well, and you traveled with Gregor Bear and his
Yeah.
wife, Molly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was good to reminisce with them
Oh,
and
yeah.
create new memories.
It's good to catch up. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But they're never cold. So she had T-shirts. Like she's always too hot, and so she was fine. He had the right clothes. So I literally had to buy. I bought, I guess, 6 shirts, 7 shirts of different
my
shirts.
gosh.
Yeah, like I bought like 3 T-shirts. Then like a fun T-shirt like from Nazare. I bought
Fun.
2 like collared shirts, and I'm like, what in the world, man? Like because when we left, I told my wife, I'm like, I literally wore 2 of the shirts that I brought with me, and we had all this stuff. So and I told her, I said I would love to do a backpack trip through Europe where we went for a month and just brought enough to carry in like a small backpack, like a hiking backpack or something. And she goes, "Hey, no!" Like she had no interest to do that at
awful.
all.
Yeah.
Oh, so I mean, we're not going to stay. We wouldn't stay in hostels. Like those are horrible. Like I'd still stay in hotels, but just to travel like super light and then go from because over in Europe you can go to multiple countries with an hour train ride sometimes. I'm like I would like to see as much of that world over there as I could.
Yeah, but you can't bring 3 pairs of shoes.
I know that's
and
it.
hairspray.
That's it. I would bring.
He still would bring the hairspray.
I still would bring hairspray, absolutely. But
if
I
he
would
needs
bring
a stranger, just
one pair of shoes and then one that I
good
wore.
hiking pair.
Yep.
Some backup clothes.
Yep, that'd be good. Bring clothes that you can wash in the sink and then hang out to dry, like kind of like the wicking stuff that will dry
'cause some
easy.
hotels do have, they do have washer dryer, but not. I don't know what. Yeah, maybe not all of them.
Yeah, I think you could pack way lighter if you were gonna, just do that kind of a trip. It'd be a lot less headaches. But anyway, okay, so that's all that. I was on TikTok a lot during the trip too because I had Wi-Fi. Oh, okay, so we took it was a guided tour. And so we would be in a city, and then a bus would pick us up and take us out for an hour and go to all these places, drive out for an hour, go to these cool places, drive to another place, come back. But the bus had Wi-Fi. Oh
nice.
man. When I discovered that, head down TikTok, my wife said, "Are you not going to look at
Wow.
anything?" I'm like, when I get to some place, I'll look.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're like a teenager.
I did. I watched so much TikTok. But then I was also like cutting videos and stuff.
Sure you were.
I was. Because I took my...
That's what I said.
I did a lot of posts. You asked me to post while I was gone.
did.
I went above and beyond on posts and
you
stories.
had that little poll thing.
The X3, the 360 camera, because I wanted to learn it. Because I'm going to El Salvador with Compassion in 2 weeks, and so and Betty's going. Those are like
talk about backpacking trips and all that.
Yeah.
Like that sounds like a marvelous enjoyment.
Yeah,
But
that's the fun thing. Like I thrive in these trips. Like I love my vacations, and we took a nice vacation, but I thrive on these trips. I enjoy them so much, and I love the difficulty and some of the hardship, and every once in a while some of the danger. It's fun. I love these trips.
The danger that you create.
Sometimes, yeah.
the dehydration that you
The
create is what
dehydration, yes. Like it's so I can't
The
wait.
one saving grace about it is Pastor Chad is coming with us, and so I'm hoping that will keep you occupied, busy, and you're not as much with me on like it's cold. Fill my neck. Fill my neck.
Oh, I'm still gonna sit with you on the plane.
I don't.
Because I
You
don't
do
think
go-
Joy's
you-
going, is she?
You two
No.
do
Yeah.
always sit like in whatever.
I've tried to hide.
I know
it doesn't
but
work.
It depends, like just whether it's a meeting, whether it's
Oh, I know.
something
Well-
in here. You guys do find it. Usually, I think he finds you. But
Yeah.
You guys do always sit together.
Well, because I mean, for me, I've always liked the team aspect of. I saw other team shows, and they would go on these trips, and they would just fracture, and I'm like,
We are like the whole.
no, see, I don't see that. Like that's the thing, I don't see. This is
Oh,
my
we
team, right? Yeah, the other people are people I work with, like,
Oh,
like,
gosh.
and we're on a different team, but I see that as different, And you talk about being helpful when we go on these trips. I look at this as it is my job. Honestly, this is my job to bring you home safe to your mama. Like,
Wow.
I literally like to get into my head to see it. I literally see it that way. Like
That's scary.
I do. I see
that
it.
if you're the one that's responsible.
Oh yeah. I've been practicing some TikTok Krav Maga. So if we get into a dicey situation, I learned how to take a knife from someone the other day. Well, I haven't actually done it, but I know the theory.
Oh, we got to practice that.
Nah, it'll be fine. I think it'll all kick
You
in.
know what now is hitting me? It would be fun if when you weren't looking, like we're
Yeah.
in the airport or something, I disappear.
Yes.
And they're calling my name on the intercom
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
see
What mode
how far I
activates.
can get you to panic.
But then she gone girls me and has like some note like that I've supposedly written about killing her.
oh my gosh, that'd be so great.
I'm in
wouldn't
an El Salvadorian prison,
Yes!
and Betty's just laughing the whole way home. My wife's crying.
Thing is, I think you actually would be semi-capable of
Oh,
doing that.
absolutely.
Seen a
based
lot
on the
of
things
crime
you've
shows.
seen. And
Oh, absolutely.
Sure, I know what to do.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's a little catch up for us here today. What do you got, Rock?
I don't really feel like getting into it. Do you want to do birthdays?
Oh, really? What is it?
Yeah. We got plenty of birthdays.
Oh, do we? Okay. All right, let's go.
Well, we're
that
already
was
25 minutes.
Holy
Yeah.
cow. I didn't want to shortchange the potties coming back, but holy cow. They're like, you already did with the 25 minutes. Sorry.
Okay, so I've got Joan. No birthday. Never mind. A lot of
Do we
people.
have
So
birthdays?
while you were gone, I sent out a text telling people, like, hey, if you want to send in a question, please do.
I love because I do love the questions,
Yeah,
and so to
we
juice
do
that,
we do have a lot of them.
Okay.
But we try and do one question a day.
Yes.
So Sarah, she just has a question. Never mind. Emma, to her.
Sarah. Sorry, her
We'll
name's
get back
Sarah.
to it. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Let's see. Emma wants to wish her mom, Heather, a happy birthday, saying she is an amazing, hardworking mom and teacher who has done homeschooled both me and my brother Harrison all through our lives. She has also supported me and will always be my best friend and hero.
I love it.
That's so precious. Happy birthday,
Love
Heather.
it.
John wants to wish his coworker, Kirsten, a happy birthday, saying she's an amazing person and dedicated worker who deserves a shout out for what she does. And of course, a shout out for her birthday. Happy birthday. Claire celebrated her 20th birthday on the 19th.
Oh, wow.
Happy birthday. She said her teenage years have expired.
Come
on.
All downhill from here, Claire.
You're 20.
Your knees are going to hurt tomorrow.
You're fine. Kimmy, to her boyfriend Jared, said he's an amazing dude with a big heart and a huge fan of the show. Happy birthday. Seth celebrated a birthday on the 21st. Then we've got Abigail, who wants to wish her mom a happy birthday. Said she loves chocolate cake. Who doesn't? Grace, to her dad Chris, on the 24th, said he's an amazing dad who always has my back and taught me the ways of being goofy and nerdy.
Nice.
The ways.
And then Catherine, Stephen, and Declan want to wish Jenny, their daughter and sister, a happy birthday.
I've never heard an actual person named Declan. I love that name. The only place I ever heard that was on a John Crist skit about sponsoring millennials like a compassion child. Remember that one?
Yes.
And he's like, my son Declan.
Yes. It does sound, yeah, I could see that. Jenny, they want to wish Jenny a happy birthday. She's turning 5 years old.
Yay, Jenny!
She's turning 5 today and is the sweetest and kindest. Even though she's the sweetest, she's definitely our little Slytherin.
Oh, that's a Harry Potter thing.
Oh,
House
is that
of-
good or bad?
They're the bad guys.
I forget, are
basically.
you Ravenclaw?
No, I'm Slytherin.
Oh, you are Slytherin. Oh, subversive.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're a bad guy?
They're like they're.
Oh, come on.
I don't know, man.
You're a Hufflepuffle.
No,
For sure, I'm a Hufflepuffle.
That's what Haley is.
Hufflepuffle.
I've taken the test. I'm Slytherin. I'm a bad boy.
I would love to know
Okay.
who wrote that test.
Yeah. A guy named Declan. That's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh gosh. Okay, we have a question. This one is from Grace.
Okay.
She said, if you could be any bear,
Whoa.
polar, grizzly,
Oh.
or black,
There's a lot of options.
which would you be and why?
I got one.
Okay, Gavin, we'll start with you.
Okay. I don't know if anyone. I want panda. I'm gonna go
Oh,
with-
she didn't
I'm gonna-
mention panda,
Oh,
but yeah,
gotta go.
pandas have it so
They have it so easy.
Yeah.
They goof around.
Yeah.
They get
And
taken
they're
care
so
of.
good.
They're rare, so they're it's
Yeah.
always going to be hampered or pampered.
Yeah, I saw one where it said something like, if you have mom guilt, just remember this mom panda gave away her baby for an apple. So they needed the mama panda to let them test a couple of things on her
Yeah.
baby. And so how to get the baby away from the mom, they just gave her an apple.
Oh,
she
sure.
took the apple
Saw that.
and gave them the baby.
Yeah.
She did not
If
care.
it makes you feel
Wow.
any better, this mom did.
That's pretty great. I love that.
Yeah, panda, that's a good one. That's a good one. What would
Yeah.
you choose, Wally?
Probably, I'd love to be a grizzly, but I don't think I would be able to. So probably,
Why?
I don't know. I just can't live up to that grizzly life. So probably koala.
They're pretty lazy. They
Yeah.
sit back.
They
Again,
all look
another-
like they have dad bod.
There's just little expectation on them.
gosh.
They're so good.
I would choose the grizzly bear because they are fierce. They
You're
are,
going to be the grizzly bear?
yeah, because they are fierce and people are afraid of them, and they're
that's true.
cute.
Yeah, they are cute.
And
You'd be the thinnest grizzly bear ever, like the one that comes out of
I would do
hibernation.
that.
Like
I would eat all the things, and then I get to sleep through hibernation. Maybe hibernation for me would last all the time.
You could do human hibernation, and you'd be so happy.
I totally would. But grizzly bears are just so cute and they're feared. And I listened to a podcast once about a guy that got attacked by a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
That was
You told us that
bad.
story.
impactful.
Yeah, and not in a good way.
It was rough.
Yeah, you had me listen to that and woo!
Woo!
Yeah, that was a lot.
Can't come back from that.
Nope.
Though thankfully he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he lived to tell about
What's
it.
really crazy is I can't unsee it, and it wasn't a video podcast. It was
Right?
all in my head.
It was just visual.
Yeah, you described it really well.
Like I literally
Wow.
can't unsee that what was in my head.
Right? And here's the shocker. I've listened to it 3 times.
Oh my gosh, what is? Yeah.
Because I'm just baffled.
Yeah.
And I do like those stories about people living through something.
Yeah.
Like I listened to a book about guys that were hunters and their close calls and stuff. There was one about a guy that he was in his deer stand and somehow he fell out. And when he did, he got what is it where you can't
Impaled?
move your, no, he didn't.
Paralyzed.
Paralyzed
Oh.
from his lower back down, so he couldn't use his legs, and he was out there for forever,
Yeah, they had
waiting
to
for
crawl
help.
out.
Isn't that crazy?
You told us one about the woman who basically got, squashed.
By the
Yes.
bear.
By the bear.
Yeah, that lady should have died too.
She did.
Oh. She should have.
She did, yeah.
That was rough.
Oh, yeah.
That was a bad day. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, all that to say, I want to be a grizzly
That's
bear.
the one you're
Well, there
going
you
to
I
go.
want to cause some fear
Yeah.
for people.
Well, you do.
Thank
actually.
you.
Yeah, more and more people are starting to fear you around here.
That's wonderful.
I know it is. It's
You got
great.
to.
Welcome.
Am I right?
Yeah,
You're
am
gonna
I
get
right?
stepped on like a Hufflepuff.
I'm
All right. That's going to actually do it for
Say
the
it
old
with passion. I'm a Slytherin. Stop picking on me.
podcast here. And as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.